Cancel.
Schweezy.
Move, bitch, get out my fucking way. It's Black History Month.
All right, so I watched a movie that did not come out in Black History Month, nor do I think has a black character in the movie. So we're gonna talk about this movie. So this movie is The Menu. Now, this was actually prepared for last week's episode, but I went too long about Glee, and the people were like, your podcasts are like an hour, 45 minutes, hour and a half, sometimes close to 2 hours. I'm like, look, we do 3 sections. We aim for 30 minutes. It sometimes go longer. I'm sorry. And you're like, I'm not going to listen to your movie review, your 30-minute long movie review. I'm like, I'm going to be honest with you. The actual movie, it's a lot longer than that. And first of all, you can pause podcasts. That's also another thing you can do. You can pause it and come back to it later. I expect people to listen to this show or watch this show and get to a point where they're like, oh, I need to pause whatever I'm doing and move on to something else. So now that we're going to talk about a movie I watched 2 weeks ago called The Menu. You may have heard of it. It's on HBO Max, which HBO Max is short for Home Box Office Maximum. That is, I mean, to be honest with you, they may just call it HBO Max, and like it's not short, but HBO stands for Home Box Office, and Max is short for Maximum. And so I'm right, and you're wrong. But anyway, so if you haven't seen the fucking Menu, just hit the fast forward button, hit the 10-second one button to get to the end until you start hearing what's the fucking ad we have at this point. Oh, it's Drizzly. Wait till you hear me talk about Drizzly, because you're not going to want to get this spoiled for you. But anyways, so this takes place at like a fancy restaurant. Like, so Menu takes place at a fancy restaurant, and it's one of those restaurants that I know I fucking hate. You know, I know I would fucking hate this place. First of all, I'm kind of trash, and because I know I'm trash, I can be free. And knowing that, like, people are like, I don't want to go to Applebee's. I'm like, I will eat Applebee's. I'm like, I am not above eating Applebee's. Now, if I want to treat myself, I'm probably not going to Applebee's. You know, I know who I am, but I don't think Applebee's is fancy. I don't think Olive Garden is fancy. Everyone in my family probably does think Olive Garden is a fancy restaurant. I don't. And that's because I'm better than all of them. So it takes place at like a fancy restaurant where like you would pay like thousands of dollars for your meal. And you eat the food. Like eating the food is like more of like an art form, more than like, oh, I would like to eat for the usual reason I eat, which is to not starve, because I need food to eat, and when I eat, it converts the food into energy, and the energy helps me exist. You know.
That's rough, buddy. This is the type of guy you get. That's
how food works. So this restaurant, it's like the food's an art form, and it's like, oh, that's cool, you know. And and I just assume like the menu. I'm like, okay, so it's like this chef with a secret menu or something like this. It's a group of people at a fancy restaurant. That's what I assumed. I think I kind of watched. I was probably drunk or high when I watched one of the trailers, and
that's rough, buddy.
And I probably didn't know what was going on. I didn't realize this was kind of a thriller / a black comedy. It's called black comedy, not because it's.
Move, bitch, get out my fucking way. It's Black History Month.
Has nothing to do with black people. Like I said, I don't think I saw a single black person, because I don't think black people are into this kind of shit. But yeah, Lord Voldemort, he was the chef and shit like that. So it's like, it was fun because like they have like a whole like scene where it's like, okay, so it was like so many different like entrees, you know, and shit like that. Like, oh, so this entree, the one you would probably get bread from, it's going to be no bread, because bread, and it was like the concept of like bread is a common people food, but then like you go to a restaurant and you just expect that shit. But this time you got like the olive oil. I want to say it's like a sauce, but it's not like a sauce. It's like that. But like you would dip the bread in the olive oil, and olive oil is like a fat, so it'd be like buttering bread. So for the trash like me who would like to know that, it's like buttering bread with olive oil. Olive oil is another kind of like fat you'd fry shit in, but it's like a very healthy fat, and that's why a lot of foods come with olive oil, because it like tastes good and it's not bad for you. So it's like that, and like the rich people are like, hey man, we want some bread and shit like that, and like they're gonna try to start shit. And, like, shenanigans are ensuing. This place is kind of weird. Like, you're watching this movie and, like, this place is kind of weird. Like, this is a weird, like, place. And I would not... One, I already knew I wouldn't be comfortable going into, a restaurant like that. And then two, the way the night is going, it does not look like a specific good place for a rub meal. Because then they get, like... It's like, all right, now you get chicken tacos or something like that. And it was, like, a chicken thigh in tortillas, and the meaning of the tortillas was like it had everyone's like dirty little secrets on them, and like why they were invited to this dinner and shit like that. It's like these like stock market bros or what, I don't know what they're called, but they're like how they're committing fraud to everyone on the tortillas. Was it like one guy was like they printed a picture on the tortilla of like the guy cheating on him, like his wife, who's also at the table. It's like all this dirty little secrets, shit like that. And so everyone's like mad about that. And then this is so it's like kind of kooky, kind of weird. It's like, they're trying to make us realize something. Like they're figuring out the fraud and the cheating, and the lies. And this is like everyone in the restaurant. And then they get to like the head chef that isn't Voldemort, like this other guy. And they have him up there. It's like, you've inspired to be like me. And it's like, but you've still failed because you still suck or some shit like that. Like, this is how the movie goes. And you're like, okay. And, in my mind going into this, I'm like, I've seen so many fucking art pieces, like, dance art pieces, art pieces, music art pieces that, don't really make sense from like a standard level, but like, take a lot more depth and meaning to do this. So I initially thought when Voldemort, our head chef, Ralph Fiennes, which it's spelled like Ralph, but he's like, that's Ray. I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. Ralph Fiennes is like, you suck. You'll never be as good as me. I am the king of everything. And you're like, okay. It's a cool little art piece thing going on here, I was like, oh, okay. Maybe we're supposed to have some like thought-provoking thing at the end of this or whatever. No, then that guy just shoots himself in the fucking head. Like, he's dead. Like, that guy died. And, like, they had him on, like, a white carpet and everything like that. And he died. He died. That's, like, halfway through the movie. You're just thinking, like, oh, this restaurant's being kind of kooky. It's kind of cool thinking about this mystery, see what's going on. They're like, we're all dying tonight. And it's like, everyone's gonna fucking die in this movie. And, I think that's the last of everything I will, like, spoil for you, because you're just like, holy shit. And then, like, the guy who's, like, cheating on his wife or whatever, like, tries to escape, and they fucking cut a finger off of him. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, you're just like, Jesus. Like, Jesus. Like, even if you're religious, you're like, Jesus Christ, how did you allow this movie to be made? I don't know.
This is the type of guy you get.
For fucking Jesus. I don't know. It's a very interesting movie. It's kind of cool to see how it ends. It's like kind of interesting. It's a very more art form movie. It's like basically one of those movies they make for Oscars, but it's like actually kind of good. Like usually it's just those movies are like kind of edgy for no reason, But like this movie was like a very thought provoking, very good idea, very good story. You see the ending of it. It's a very interesting ending, meaning it's not like a good ending or a bad ending. It's an interesting ending. I'm putting The Menu up there with like maybe like Fight Club, American Psycho, and stuff like that. The Tarantino movie, not Goodfellas. Maybe Goodfellas, The Big Lebowski. I just think it's just one of those kind of movies that really will stick through the test of time. And The Menu, it was fucking great. I will say, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. Hey there, you just checked out a highlight from Cancel Schweezy. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you learned something and that you are now a smarter individual. Just so you know, we have full episodes and other many highlights available now. Click here for the next best thing that you can go check out as well. And make sure you press that subscribe button and press that notification bell. That way you get updated anytime we make a new post or anytime that we make a new highlight or full episode. So thank you, honk if you love butt drugs, and stay awesome.